Hello, this video is going to be about the essential tips and mechanics for both beginners and players. I'll only be referencing the free-to-play version of this game. For those who already know most of these tips in this video, I'll be laying down chapters so you can just skip to the ones you don't know, if any. I'm going to be starting off this video with a basic mechanic. In-game, every 2 rounds a new tier of animal becomes available along with slots for the You also lose an extra life per round lost up to a maximum of 3. The rounds that these happen on are odd numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, 11 being tier 6 animals. You shouldn't combine animals right away. You can use them as an extra attacker for more overall HP and attack. But more importantly, when you merge animals to get them to level 2, an animal of a higher tier than you currently have unlocked will appear in the shop. It can be better to wait until the perfect time to do this. For example, let's say it's round 4, and as with the previous mechanic, you have tier 2 animals unlocked. We know that tier 3 animals are going to be unlocked upon reaching round 5, which is next round, so it would be more efficient to hold off on leveling up your animal until the next round to get a tier 4 animal 2 rounds than you're supposed to. Buffs can only be permanent when you're in the shopping phase. When in battle, every buff that occurs will revert upon the return to the shopping phase as they're not permanent. There is also a line underneath the attack or health if the buffs added during the shopping phase are temporary. The pill can actually be super good. If you look at the description of a pill, some of you new players would wonder why permanently fainting an animal would be good. Well, at least that's what I thought, but the pill will actually allow the effects of an animal fainting during the shop phase to be permanent. Like for example, the turtle, which would give an early melon to a teammate behind him. A few of you might disagree with me on this, but you must have at least one of these 5 pets in 90% of your games at some point. Dragon, cat, monkey, penguin, or giraffe. They are all used to buff your current pets and in my opinion are absolutely required to carry your pets into late game. This excludes summoning builds because it's highly dependent on the situation regarding that strat. Don't be afraid to keep your low tier animals. The most important thing in super auto pets is not the ability of the animals but the stats themselves. Now don't get me wrong, abilities are important. But for example, if you trade in a 12-13 tier 1 fish for something like a 5-8 tier 5 rhino, then unless you have enough assets to increase that rhino's stats in a very short amount of time, then more often than not, that trade will do more harm than good. I can't count the amount of times I've bought a lower stat animal that I thought would be better due to its ability, and having that decision lose me the game. Having it be at the back of your team can give a lot of value and win those skirmishes that otherwise would have led to a draw. The reason that it is good is that as no matter how low your HP is on your pet, it will always require 2 hits for the enemy to win the battle. If they can't survive the first hit, and even if you also can't, you'll still win. The badger works really well with this strat. Last but not least, the order at which in-battle abilities occur is determined by their attack. The highest attacker will use their ability first, and the lowest attacker will use it last. If there are multiple mechanics in play during the specific shot, I'll let this play out so you can dissect it for any information you seek about how they work. And with this video being over, even though it's a couple weeks in already, I wish you all a happy new year. See ya.
I think I'm in love, say it way too often. I can't play these games, think I'm switching up the offense. See me in LA, I'll be moving cautious. I can't feel no pain, rolling up, I'm so exhausted. I'll be so exhausted, whoa.